Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So the last update about unfortunate love was how Rishi makes a promise to Lakshmi in the prison by giving her his ring to hold so that she would always remember that he is with her. And then Rishi goes to apologize to Neelam for going against her because of Lakshmi. So let's continue from there. Ayush and Shalu are with Lakshmi at the prison waiting room. Lakshmi asks Shalu if she is feeling more pain. Shalu says no, and she asks Lakshmi to have food. Lakshmi asks them to have food, and she makes them have food. She says, I will make your friendship love go forward. Ayush asks Lakshmi that why is she smiling? Lakshmi says nothing. Ayush and Shalu argues as they go, and Lakshmi says you both cannot become just friends because you both love each other, and she smiles. Neelam asks Virendra that who is Mr. Basu. Virendra says the Indian's #1 lawyer. He says tomorrow he is coming here. Neelam asks why did you call the lawyer? Virendra says even I haven't called him. Then Rishi would have called him and he can do anything for his wife. Neelam asks what are you doing for your wife? Virendra says I have done so much for you and I will do it in the future again. Neelam says to Virendra that whatever good he could do is because of her. She says you are nothing without me and she asks him to tell her if she is wrong. Virendra says that time you were not wrong, but this time you are wrong. He says I love you immensely and I will love you always, but this time I will support my daughter Lakshmi. Neelam says to Virendra that you are calling Lakshmi your daughter again and says you know her truth. Virendra says Lakshmi is truthful and you are ignoring the truth. He says Lakshmi kept the family first before herself. He asks Neelam that who saved your son repeatedly and who are taking care of the family members. It was Lakshmi. Neelam asks Virendra if she did not do all this before Lakshmi came. She asks if there was no happiness in the family before Lakshmi came. She asks that who did this? I have done this. She asks if she did not do anything. Virendra says you have done so much for the family. He says you have a misunderstanding that Lakshmi is inauspicious. Grandma hears them and appreciates Virendra in her mind for standing against Neelam for the first time. In the prison, Lakshmi finds Rishi's ring missing and she asks the ladies to give Rishi's ring to her. The lady says it is with us. Tell us whoever have the ring. They say if you guess wrong, then you will lose the ring. The other lady says if you couldn't get it, then your husband will not fulfill his promise made to you. And they ask Lakshmi to say who is having the ring among them. Lakshmi imagines that Rishi is there and she holds his hand. Rishi says, I will not break the promise. Lakshmi says, I know you will not break your promise. And she asks him to tell her who among the lady prisoners is having the ring. Rishi says, you want to cheat. Lakshmi says they have done cheating and says it is my gift. And Rishi signals at the lady who is holding his ring. Lakshmi comes out of her imagination and she comes to the lady. The lady gives her the ring. Lakshmi smiles. The lady asks that how did she know that the ring was with her among the other ladies. Lakshmi says Rishi told me, and she tells them that Rishi stays in her heart always and he told her. The lady asks if she had a love marriage. Lakshmi says it was an arranged marriage, but all the family members loved her a lot. The lady says your husband loves you a lot too and you are lucky. Rishi thinks that Lakshmi will be out now. He thinks that wherever he looks, he sees Lakshmi. He imagines Lakshmi calling him and dancing with him in their room. They fall on the bed. Lakshmi laughs. Rishi says, do you remember that I had asked you once if you need me forever? Lakshmi says when Grandma and Ayush had come. Rishi says yes, and he asks Lakshmi to answer if she will stay with him always. Lakshmi says to Rishi that you have changed the question. Rishi says if I stay with you or you stay with me, it is the same. Lakshmi says yes. Rishi asks yes for what? Lakshmi says we will be together. Rishi asks if Lakshmi is answering him. He says you are my answer and says whenever I miss you, you come in front of me. Rishi says to Lakshmi that I just remember you once and you come in front of me. He says just like we are incomplete without each other, I am incomplete without you. Lakshmi says she used to feel this from before. We are incomplete without each other. She says we cannot be separated and we cannot complete without each other. Rishi promised Lakshmi that he will be with her and he will not let the loneliness affect her. He gets up from the bed and he comes out of his imagination and he thinks that filming scenes are happening with him because he is imagining Lakshmi when she is not here. He says he misses her very much when she is not around. He says life doesn't seem to be life without Lakshmi. Malishka hears that and she goes away from there angrily. Grandma and Virendra are talking. Grandma appreciates Virendra for answering Neelam. She says Neelam has done so much for the house, but that doesn't mean that she is always right. Virendra says Neelam is upset because Rishi has gone against her. Grandma asks if they are all wrong and only Neelam is right. Malishka comes to the room and vents out her anger. She says, I will get mad. Kiran thinks that what happened to her and she asks her. Malishka says the same thing is happening again and again and says Rishi has imagined dancing with Lakshmi, and Rishi says that Lakshmi is his breath and he is nothing without Lakshmi. Malishka says Rishi forgot everything that he used to say to me, like I love you 5 times in a day, and now Rishi is in love with Lakshmi. Malishka says to Kiran that she has hired Balvinda due to Rishi and she blames Lakshmi. Kiran says Lakshmi will not come out of prison. Malishka says she doesn't trust the police and their investigation. She says, I don't want to be on false hopes and I will do something that the police inquiry and their investigation will be according to me. And Lakshmi cannot come out of jail. I will make sure of it. Abe comes there and says this would happen and I will do everything to make you happy. Malishka is happy and she hugs her father. Virendra tells Grandma that he is not thinking about Neelam, but he is thinking about Lakshmi. He says for some time, I had closed my eyes and I thought that Lakshmi is inauspicious. He says Lakshmi is Lakshmi in real means. She is the soul of the house and she can give her life for us. He says I don't know why Neelam doesn't understand this and accept Lakshmi. Grandma says to Virendra that I have understood Lakshmi from day one because I was once a daughter-in-law and now I am a mother-in-law. She says I used to be quiet when everyone talks badly to me. She says Lakshmi also used to be quiet as well and her silence made place in my heart. Grandma says if Neelam stays the same about her decision, then Rishi and Lakshmi would have trouble. Virendra says to Grandma that very soon Neelam will believe Lakshmi. He says I cannot hurt Lakshmi due to Neelam and says he will make Neelam understand again and again. He says he is going to meet Lakshmi tomorrow in prison. Grandma says what if Neelam comes to know? Virendra says I don't care. I will go there and apologize to my daughter. Ayush and Shalu comes to Rano's home. Ayush walks past Shalu and sits on the sofa. Shalu feels shy. Bani thinks that what happened to Shalu. She asks Shalu why did she run and told them about Ayush's accident. Why? Shalu says I misunderstood Ayush. She tells them that she has met her sister and she will be out soon. Rano asks Shalu why they are standing and searching. She turns Shalu, Bani and Ayush, saying that the neighbors are saying that Lakshmi had mixed poison in the food and says they ask her to beware of Lakshmi. Ayush says Lakshmi is innocent and he asks Rano to tell the neighbors that Lakshmi is innocent. Rano says to Ayush that okay, I will slap the people and tell them that Lakshmi is innocent. But what about the word that is ruining Lakshmi's name? Ayush says he will make everyone's mouth closed and he asks Rano to first close her mouth. He then asks Shalu and Bani to close their mouth too. Rano says to Ayush that how dare you to ask me to shut up my mouth. Ayush says if I can go against my mother, then who are you? He asks Rano to just close her mouth. Rano gets a call. She thinks it is Balvinda's call and she goes inside after warning Ayush. Ayush says sorry to Shalu and Bani for replying to Rano. Shalu and Bani ask Ayush to reply to Rano very well. Ayush tells Bani that he will leave. He then says bye to Shalu. Shalu moves back and Bani thinks that what happened to Shalu. Lakshmi sees a lady crying in the lockup. She asks that what happened. The lady says her husband came to meet her for the first time and says she has been here since months. She says another woman has trapped my husband just as I came here. Another lady says other women do such things to trap the men. Lakshmi thinks that she used to save Rishi from Malishka and she thinks if Malishka did this to make me go away from her way. Rano thinks that Balvinda did not come in till now. She thinks that I will not let him live with my money. She thinks to go to his house. Then she thinks that he takes out knife for small things and she thinks that she will see him tomorrow. Rishi and Ayush meet Mr. Basu, the lawyer, and they thank him. Mr. Basu asks that what happened. Ayush tells him everything and how it happened at the hotel. The lawyer asks Ayush if somebody unknown came to the kitchen. Ayush says I don't think so. He says Lakshmi, the chefs and Malishkas were there. Mr. Basu asks that who is Malishka. Rishi says Malishka is a friend. Ayush says Malishka is a family friend. Mr. Basu says he wants to meet the chefs and Ayush says I would arrange your meeting with them. Lakshmi comes to the meeting room and thinks that who has come to meet me. She sees Virendra standing and she gets emotional. She calls him father and she gets teary eyes and hugs him. She asks that why did you come here? Virendra says because you are here and says he is not here but his heart is with her, with his daughter, and he asks that how is she? Lakshmi cries and hugs Virendra. Virendra asks, will you make me cry too? Lakshmi says no. Virendra says you are strong. Lakshmi says she got the strength seeing him, but why did he come? Virendra says it seems like your soul went from the house. Lakshmi says when she used to fall down from the circle, then her father also used to say the same. Virendra says when you fall, then you hold. He stops and says he has never seen such courage before. He says he cannot see Lakshmi in pain. Lakshmi says she can bear any pain because someone is with her. Virendra gets sad. She asks him not to get sad. Lakshmi says Rishi had come to meet me and said that he would take me out from here very soon. Virendra says that is why I called you a tiger and says you are locked up here and you are giving strength to me. Lakshmi hugs him. She says you are crying. Virendra also says even you are also crying. They look at each other and smile. Lawyer Basu talks to the chef. The chef tells him that later they came out of the kitchen and they don't know who went inside. The lawyer asks if something was missed in the food, which turned out to be poisonous reaction. The chef tells him that everything was made nicely after proper measurements by Lakshmi's sister-in-law. Lawyer Basu says Lakshmi's sister-in-law and he asks the chef why he called Lakshmi as sister-in-law. The chef says Lakshmi is Rishi's wife and she asks us to call her sister-in-law. He says the food was very tasty too and we haven't made such food before. Rishi asks that so you all tasted the food that Lakshmi made and then you did not have any reaction. You were all fine. The chef says yes. Rishi says okay, you can go. Rishi tells Mr. Basu that whatever happened is after the chef went out. He says something is not in front of our eyes. We need to find out. Ayush talked to someone on phone and he comes to know that Chef Mukesh is missing. He collided with an employee. The employee heard him talking about Mukesh and he thinks to tell Malishka to get a big tip from her. Mr. Basu tells Rishi that it seems that someone did this intentionally. He says he needs to talk to the other chefs too. Ayush comes there running and says you have to make sure that Lakshmi should be out of prison on the court hearing day. He says there is something fishy. Rishi asks that what does it mean, but Ayush says that he is not sure, but he knows that something is fishy. Okay guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Please check the comment section for the link to the next update once it is available. Thanks for watching. I will see you all again in my next video. Bye guys.